What's up, everybody? It's your boy Brandon Blakeney, aka Brandon Lee TV. Welcome back to the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. Now, kick back, relax, and come take a ride with me. It was an eventful weekend of women's college hoops, and we were blessed with some extremely competitive, hard-fought, and physical matchups. First off, we know the headline, down goes LSU to an Auburn team who was looking for their first SEC victory. LSU fell on the road, and they faced some problems that were exposed that I have been talking about for weeks, but we'll get into that. Also, JuJu Watkins leads an incredible effort for an upset of the USC Trojans over those UCLA Bruins, the crosstown rivals. It was sensational, man. She literally collapsed from cramps. That's what you call really leaving it all on the court. And then Colorado continues its run through the Pac-12 with a big matchup over top 10 foe Stanford. But before we get into all that, make sure y'all hit that subscribe button for all the latest and the greatest, and join our memberships. We got that exclusive content coming daily, weekly, whenever you need it. Now, let's get into it.
You are now locked into the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. Here is your host, Brandon Blakeney.
Look, I have no national championships to my name. I have not coached college basketball. So I say this with the utmost respect. But what in the hell was going on that last possession with the game on the line? Coach Kim Mulkey calls Angel Reese to have the ball in ISO at the top of the key for the win? That's not even her game. She's back to the basket, scoring like 99% of her shots with feet in the paint. And we got her in an ISO for the win? Yo, what exactly is going on with this play call right here? I mean, dribble, spins right into the double team and gets stripped, and that's all she wrote for LSU. Now, I'm not saying this one play is what caused them to lose, but this is, the possession before you draw up a play for Michaela Williams. That's your ISO player. Haley Van Lith, that's your ISO player. Maybe even Anissa Morrow, that's your ISO player. But to have Angel Reese at the top of the key not getting a paint touch? What is going on here? I just completely do not understand the call, y'all. I really don't. And shout out to Auburn for just making this a tough game for LSU, making them fight for every basket. And looking at the breakdown, as you can see the numbers, they held LSU to 41.8% shooting from the field. They didn't make a three-pointer the whole game. LSU's going to get to the free throw line, but missing 11 free throws, that would have won them this game, just making their free throws. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Auburn for competing on the boards, tying them in offensive rebound at 14. LSU has dominated the rebound margin in pretty much every contest. They only win +2 in this one. The assists, 11-11, the steals, and then they forced LSU into 15 turnovers. Those guards have to take care of the basketball. And this no shade to Angel Reese that last play. She played 37 strong minutes, had 24 and 11, was the only reason LSU was in this contest to begin with, to be honest with you. She was a monster in the paint and got everything she wanted. So it's just crazy that they didn't give her a paint touch. You know, give her a chance to set up a post opportunity for the win. You know what I'm saying? Anissa Morrow, a little quiet. She had 12 and 15, but it was a tough outing for her. Between her and Michaela Williams, the shots were not falling. Michaela Williams, 7 points. She was shooting them. She was trying to stay aggressive. They were not falling for her. Haley Van Lith, one of her worst games of the season. 28 minutes, 3 points. She was not hitting shots either. And I was telling y'all, man, it feels like they're still trying to find their starting lineup. Last Tarapoa might be the most important guard on this roster. Just her ability to initiate the offense, you know what I'm saying, with the assists, to control the game, to just be more of a distributor than looking for her own shot. And she's just a better defender. She's a less of a liability on the defensive end than Haley Van Lith. And you see she played 20 minutes, big minutes for the freshman. And she is the point guard, man. I think she is just too good for them to keep her off the floor the way the offense flows within her hands when she has the basketball. Now, they had multiple double-digit scores, 3. But Michaela Williams and Haley Van Lith, the perimeter shooting was not there. We mentioned 0 for 2 from 3. Like, Auburn just pressured, tough, contested shots. Had LSU settling, to be honest with you. And you can imagine Coach Kim Mulkey was not thrilled about the team's performance. She was actually very, very salty.
In what area did you lose the game tonight?
Defense, I thought, but we knew Auburn would get in passing lanes and pressure you and make it very difficult to just make a pass. And we didn't handle that very well. I thought energy, enthusiasm, they just came at us. And that was from the beginning of the game. I thought it was good that we fought back, and at half I think we had a 3-point lead. And I'd say defense. Their effort was just better than our effort. Their effort was just better. Their defensive just energy and lateral movement and things, aggressive was good. And that's the kind of coach Johnny is. They just got after us. And anything we tried to do, whether it was a pass or a shot, they made it hard.
And I told y'all, this starting lineup needs to continue to build chemistry. The chemistry is not there right now. You can tell they haven't had a whole lot of meaningful reps together. They've had injuries with Haley Van Lith. Angel Reese has missed games. Anissa Morrow, it seems like most times she's been the best player on the floor, her and Michaela Williams, but it seems like Anissa Morrow never really found her rhythm in this game. And she's struggling a little bit playing next to Angel Reese. They're still trying to figure that out. And we saw that, the perimeter shooting is lacking right now. The floor spacing is lacking right now. And we saw Auburn give LSU a bunch of different looks, and they pulled off the upset. And shout out to the Auburn guards, man. They were aggressive. They were knocking down shots. They were attacking the basket. They were fearless. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, they played the better game from the tip. The crowd was into it. They matched LSU blow for blow, punch for punch. And we saw them come away with their first victory in the SEC this season. It was their first top 10 upset in like 2 years. It was just an incredible game plan executed by Auburn. They came out, they were physical, they punched LSU in the mouth, they took away the transition points. LSU is one of the best transition scoring teams. That's where they get a lot of their points, in transition, and they got runs where we saw it, but Auburn slowed this game down, and I think that was totally the difference in this contest. LSU has to work on playing in that half-court offense a little bit more and stop playing so much iso ball. It's pretty much either they're sprinting down the court getting transition buckets, or they're letting Michaela Williams or Anissa Morrow, work in isolation. We saw them go to iso for the game winner with Angel Reese, who just is not a ball handler. Like, yeah, she brings it up sometimes. She has that playmaking capability, but to have her, you didn't set her up in a position to succeed, Coach Mulkey. I'm going to just be honest. Having her at the top of the key, one-on-one, in iso, trying to create a shot opportunity with seconds left in this game, that's what you thought was the go-to play here? I mean, I know Michaela Williams was cold, but, that's who you really want taking that shot. You want Angel Reese starting with the basketball in the paint where she can make a play, draw some contact, maybe get to the free throw line. You know what I'm saying? But this was just a terrible play call. Obviously, Coach Mulkey was really salty about the loss. They're still working on depth. They played 7 players. There's not a lot of depth. And that's something that you guys have been saying in the comments as well about LSU's depth. Just not being able to match up with South Carolina's, man. South Carolina can play 8 to 10 players on any given night. And we're seeing, these are the two biggest teams in the SEC right now. This is what we're assuming it's going to come down to. But I think LSU is a little bit a ways away behind South Carolina right now. South Carolina remains the only unbeaten team in the SEC as I'm recording this. They do have Kentucky later today. But just looking at it, that was just a terrible play call. I think Coach Mulkey and staff got out-coached. They got outclassed. They folded under the pressure. Straight up, they folded under the pressure, and Auburn got a huge victory for morale. This is the type of win they got, nominated for biggest upset, biggest win over the weekend, and this is something that they can build on. They know that they can play with anybody in that conference now, pretty much. When they bring their A game, they kept it sloppy. They held LSU to one of their lowest scoring point totals of the season. They were physical, man. They made things rough. LSU never looked comfortable in this game. And we saw them with an L. Now, typically Coach Mulkey's teams do have a tendency to bounce back strong. So I think, this is far away from the best this LSU team's going to be. They're, in the next month or so, the next 4 to 6 weeks, I think we're going to see them continue to get better, continue to build chemistry. But we have not seen, I don't think we've seen their best game yet. And Ole Miss gave them a tough matchup too, and they escaped that one. Could not escape Auburn. And, we're just seeing what the defending champs have to go through. They're replacing a lot of faces. There's not a lot of depth, and they're getting everybody's best shot any given night. So, we'll see how they bounce back, man. But I was telling y'all, and y'all been telling me too, we kind of been on the same page with some of these weaknesses. And I don't mean to offend no LSU fans out there. Y'all know I got lots of love for the Tigers, man. Check out my page. We love LSU over here. We salute them. I followed them all the way through that championship run last year. I think they have an excellent team. I think they have as much talent as anybody, but talent isn't always the end-all, be-all. You got to harness that talent. You got to get these players to play together, to execute as one unit, and to play hard every given night. So, hey, the champs will bounce back, but this is a humbling L, and we got to talk about it. In the Pac-12, man, shame on y'all for nobody having the Pac-12 network on any of these cable packages, man. They've got top 10 matchups in back-to-back weekends that we've missed, and it's a shame. It was the rematch between USC and UCLA. UCLA has been the number 2 team in the nation. They've been one of the most well-balanced teams, bigs, guards, length, a lot of versatility with this team. And USC came out and outplayed them, man. They didn't have Ryan Marshall available like that, and still leaned on JuJu Watkins, leaned on Forbes to get it done. That's who was hooping the last time these two teams played. And, hey, the women of Troy get it done. And we're seeing, under Coach Gottlieb, we're seeing a total transformation of culture in year one.
It's indescribable. This is amazing. I'm trying not to cry or swear. Unfreaking believable. This is magical. They told me we couldn't get fans here, or we couldn't be one of the best programs in the country. Look at us now. A lot of respect and credit to UCLA. They're that good. That's why this is such a big deal. But our kids were so tough and fought right from the jump.
What were the learning lessons from the first matchup that you guys had?
We wanted to be better in transition defense. We wanted to not give them second chance points. We felt like we could score more. It's funny, last time, I think we held them to 71, right? And I said, we got to be able to score at least 73, and here we are. Our defense was phenomenal. We were tougher, and I think our kids just wanted to run it back like they're basketball players. We did the film, but freaking compete, and I'm so proud of every single one of them.
You did it today without Rhea. What did you see from JuJu and Mackenzie and how they stepped up?
Well, first of all, shout out Rhea, an LA kid who was here before this, so we were playing for her. JuJu, what can I say? She's a winner. She just does winning plays. She's the toughest kid. Kenzie obviously keeps us together, but how about Clarice coming in and battling like that? Thought Taylor Bigby was phenomenal. KP hit big shots. It was a team effort. That's what we're about. We know we have the best player in this conference, but we need everybody to win, and that's what we got today.
USC took the final 73-65, and honestly, they just outplayed UCLA, man. Truthfully, they limited second chance points. They shared the basketball. They forced UCLA. The defense is what's really stood out. Forced the Bruins into 22 turnovers. Held them to 18% shooting, 40% from the field. If it wasn't for the free throws, it might have got a little ugly. But this was a really physical game. I mean, look at the foul totals right here, man. I mean, we're talking about 55 total fouls called in this game. USC shot 32 free throws. And like we said, Forbes, 18 points. JuJu Watkins, a double-double, another 30-point performance for her. Padilla also shot the rock. You know what I'm saying? Three double-digit scores. She really stepped up. She was an X factor, Padilla, for this team. She was really quiet the first matchup, but she came in and made her presence known. So shout out to her. Shout out to Forbes. JuJu Watkins is just sensational. She's one of the best players in the country. And I think she will be arguably, the best player in the country. Whether Caitlin Clark decides to leave, then, it's the JuJu Watkins era. She's just incredible. Off the dribble, getting to the basket, finishing in traffic. She can do everything. She played 37 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Nobody other than Charisma Osborne played over 30 minutes for UCLA. And you look at the Bruins, that starting five all played over 30 minutes. Watkins left it all on the court and physically collapsed from cramps, man. Like, you just got to salute the effort, the fortitude, the will, the drive. And then, defensively, we saw Lauren Betts get held to her worst performance. 10 points, 3 boards. They kept her off the boards. They did a good job of just dealing with UCLA's length. You know what I'm saying? Osborne still did her thing, 25 points. Kiki Rice was closed off, locked up. London Jones, who was the star in the first matchup, locked down. You know what I'm saying? Gabriela Jaquez, played solid, 10 points. She played better than she did the first matchup. And then they did a great job on Duligich, just locking her up. She was incredible that first game. She still grabbed 10 rebounds, but holding her to 2 points, USC did not allow the length of UCLA to bother them like they did the first game. They didn't get crushed on the boards, which is surprising without their number one big Marshall available. Like, they still were able to get this win done without one of their best players. So it just shows you the capability of USC, man. And I always say it's hard to beat a team twice. I'll tell you that much. But shout out to them. JuJu Watkins is sensational. She's incredible. She's lived up to the hype and beyond. She's got a program on her back right now. They've got a heck of a recruiting class coming in next year, more reinforcements. So this is just the beginning. USC is going to be a force on the women's side of college basketball for the next several years at least. The women of Troy, the ladies of Troy, they're back, y'all, and back in business. And then staying with the Pac-12, Colorado, just another sensational top 10 win for them, man. They've just been incredible this season. Extremely well-balanced. Jalen Sherrod, Aaronette Von Lay, Frida Foreman. Like, they just have you never know whose night it's going to be with Colorado, man. They really limited arguably, I would say, the best front court in the Pac-12 right now, probably. And Stanford limited them, man. Made things extremely hard on the bigs for Stanford and really killed the rhythm. And they dominated this game. Like, it could have been a lot worse. Colorado picked up the win 71-59. And just looking at the numbers, they held Stanford to a horrid 33.9% from the field. Stanford shot 26 threes, only knocked down 9 of them. They kept them off the free throw line for the most part, and still, Stanford dominated the rebounding battle, and it still didn't matter. 18 turnovers for Stanford. Colorado just better at managing the game, managing the basketball. Their guards just took care of and valued every possession. Stanford killed with turnovers, just that ball pressure. They just really, the rhythm was not there, man. Holding Stanford to 59 points is insane. You got Irafin, 19 points and 17 boards. Cameron Brink, 12 and 12. Like, they were sensational. They were sensational. But everybody else, like, just were not able to really get anything done. They shut these guards down. Cameron Brink earned a tough 12 points. You know, she only played 23 minutes in this game, but they made things hard for her. They absolutely got physical, and she just was not as impactful on both ends as she typically is. They were taking it right at Cameron Brink, like legit, right in the paint at those Stanford bigs. You look at Miller, who had a really good game. Frida Foreman shot the rock really well. Sherrod, Nolan, Weta, like just multiple double-digit scores. A very balanced offense for them, man. But shout out to Miller outplaying Cameron Brink, in all honesty. Played 37 big minutes, had 10 boards. You know what I'm saying? Just was imposing her will in the paint. You got Von Lay, who was quiet but still impactful. And that's what I look at. Like, she's been one of Colorado's best players. But with Colorado, it could be anybody's night. Like, literally, they are deep. They can play fast. They can play in the half-court offense. They've got exceptional guard. They've got guards. They've got shooting. They've got snipers on the wing. They've got shot creators. And they've got bigs who can really bang down low and get points in the paint, man. They made things difficult for Stanford in the paint, and Stanford could not buy a three-pointer. Just shout out to the perimeter defense, forcing tough shots, and getting Stanford out their rhythm, out of their game. You know what I'm saying? That's really what it came down to, just a sensational execution by that Colorado team, who's got something to say, man. They were in the Sweet 16 last year. You know what I'm saying? We saw them start the season off with a big win over LSU. And they've been pretty much rolling. The Pac-12, arguably the best, most stacked conference in women's college basketball this season. Colorado is rising to be the cream of the crop. And I think they're one of the most well-oiled machines, balanced, experienced teams. You know, they just can find a way to win. And that's going to be big when you get to the postseason play. Being able to just grind it out and find a way to win. If you take one option away, they can go another way. If you take the inside away, they're letting the guards dominate. You take the guards, the three-point line, you know, you try to run them off the three-point line, they're attacking the mid-range. They're getting to the cup. They're dishing to these bigs who are capable finishers as well. The depth, the camaraderie, this team has so much chemistry. You can tell that they've played a lot of games together. They know each other. They're familiar with each other's games, and it was just sensational to watch, to be honest with y'all. We got to shout out, arguably the player of the year, already got it locked in the bag. Caitlin Clark leading Iowa, who's 17-1 over the 14th ranked Indiana Hoosiers, who were 14-2 coming into the contest. Iowa lost a lot, y'all, and to be honest with y'all, they look maybe even better this year. Caitlin Clark's usage has increased, but so has her efficiency, and they still got the shooters in the house. So shout out to them. Caitlin Clark has just been sensational, though. In her last game, we saw like she hit a buzzer beater to lead them in the same week earlier in the week. Then she drops another 30, 11, and 5 on Indiana, making it look easy right now. Like, Caitlin Clark, there's just nobody in college hoops, men or women, that are doing what she's doing right now, man. Averaging over 30 points a game, 7 rebounds, and basically 8 assists. Shooting 48% from the field, y'all. Are you kidding me? And then she's shooting 40% from 3, too? Like, I mean, it's scary at this point. You know, she's fighting through all types of schemes, teams trying to scheme and take her out of her element, and she's still scoring the basketball 30 points a clip on any given night. She's special. She's special. She's sensational. And there's just not a player in college basketball like her right now, man. Just the impact, the way she's selling out stadiums. You know what I'm saying? They're lining up for autographs. Everybody wants to see the Caitlin Clark show, and she absolutely is delivering every time she's on the court. So it's just impressive to see. We're literally witnessing history right now, and we're just all witnesses. We're all taking it in right now, man, because we will never see another Caitlin Clark. And I don't think the impact that she's having on the state of Iowa and women's basketball, like just lifting this game, elevating it, and bringing more viewers in. You can't do nothing but respect it. Now, the only big question is, will she stay or will she go? Is she going to stay another year and break every college women's basketball scoring, assist, and rebound record? Or does she go and join the Indiana Fever and Aaliyah Boston? That will be the question. And then we talked about some superstar freshmen with Michaela Williams as well as JuJu Watkins. But we have to talk about Hannah Hidalgo as well for Notre Dame, who continues to be sensational. Notre Dame is missing key players. It was really Olivia Miles. You know, they got Citron back. Olivia Miles, when they get her back, this is going to be one of the best backcourts in the nation. But you look at Hidalgo, they just smacked Boston College 98-48. She had 27, 4, and 10, and 7 steals. She's had like 3+ steals in almost every game this season. She's averaging 24 points, 7 boards, over 5 assists per game. Just sensational. She's averaging over 5 assists per game as well. She's averaging over 5 steals per game as well, leading the nation. She's been sensational. Like any other given year, she would be hands down the freshman of the year. And it's just so much crazy talent in this 2024 class that we're looking at it. And she is carrying Notre Dame right now, who have been having, a pretty solid season given the stakes right now. They're 18th in the country, 11-3. I think when they get their entire team back, Olivia Miles, like this team is going to be tough to deal with. They're versatile. They're getting production out of their bigs. They have a 3-headed monster. And then they're getting production from role players, too, like Anna DeWolf, KK Bransford. Like, this is going to be a tough team to deal with in a couple months. So I'm excited to see. And how about Iowa State, the young Cyclones upsetting Baylor? Who is supposed to be the top of the Big 12. Iowa State got a youth movement. Some of the top freshmen in the nation are playing basketball right there. And they completely shocked those Baylor Bears. Oh, no. They got the win 66-63 to move to 12-4 on the year, man. Shot 45% from the field, held Baylor to under 40, held Baylor to 8 of 30 shooting from the three-point line, forced them into 17 turnovers, drew 21 fouls, dominated the defensive glass, and led in total rebounds, man. And this team is far from their peak, but just looking at, like, these young players, Audie Crooks, first off, if you talk about really, really talented freshmen, you cannot forget about her. At 6'3", Crooks really had to get in shape, and she's played more and more minutes as the season has went on. She goes all out. She's averaging 16 points per game, over 6 rebounds, and an assist, shooting 61.5% from the field. She's a stud. She's a force in the middle. She's powerful. She's strong. She's a straight-up load to deal with, man. I'm just telling y'all right now. Hannah Bellinger, the senior, also had a big game for the Cyclones, knocking down shots. She's having the best year of her career. She's fought through some injuries, but she's back looking strong. But, man, just shout out to these young Cyclones, man. Addie Brown had a good game, 6'2", forward, versatile forward, 11 rebounds, almost got a double-double, had 5 assists. You know what I'm saying? You got Emily Ryan coming in, making shots, contributing 9 points. This is a team that plays, a pretty deep lineup, man. And we saw, they kind of got on the map when they made Iowa. They pushed them to the limit and had them against the ropes. But, hey, Iowa State is for real. They're young. They're hungry. They've got some veterans, too, that are doing some big things. But Crooks is going to be a star for many years at Iowa State, man. And I'm excited. I really like their young team. I like how they play. They're physical. They play fast. They can play slow. They pound you in the paint. You know what I'm saying? They're tough to beat at home. You're not getting any easy wins at the crib for them. So love what I'm seeing, man. So many storylines. Let me know, though, how y'all feel about everything and that's going down right now. Holler at your boy in the comments. Who should we be talking about? Who are we overlooking right now? Let me know in the comments. Holler at your boy. And make sure to hit that subscribe button for all the latest and the greatest. I'm Brandon Blakeney, a.k.a. Brandon Lee TV, your host. Until next time, hey, we out.